Guess what? Guess what? We just did a thing and got a treadmill for the house. Damn. So we've been talking about a treadmill and a sauna for the house for like the last year-ish. And the reason behind that is because Sydney, not really a huge fan of the gym, but definitely wants to start doing some more cardio. And we have a walking pad, but it's kind of sucks. And you can't really it's not long enough to be able to do a run. It's like really small and stuff. So she's kind of on board for the idea of the treadmill and the sauna as well. But then given that I'm going to be doing the high rocks and the Ironman stuff, once we get into that training, which will be pretty much halfway through next month, I'm going to significantly reduce the gym. So I won't have the gym membership at Pure anymore. And I'll likely pause the Good Life membership because I will just be going to the gym at the office for the days that I do need to do a strength training workout. The rest is just going to be bike and running and then swimming, and none of that requires a gym if we have the treadmill at home, given that I have the Zwift that I have in the garage, and then we would have this inside the house as well. So we've been looking at them. We were looking at a whole bunch of different treadmills. Come on, dude, yellow, go, 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 go. What are you doing, bro? Oh, that was tough. Now I'm running a red light. The hell? Not actually, like I was in the intersection, but you know what I mean. So we've been looking at quite a few different treadmills. City's Ad's got the Nordic Track, and nice ones. They had the iFit, so like super. So we were looking at one of those. But depending on the tier, and the price point that you're looking at, some are better than others. And then we were looking at other different brands. We've seen one at Costco, but then we went to the Treadmill Factory because they have a whole bunch of different models of treadmill. And then he was kind of letting us know that, hey, like if I'm being honest with you, like the top of the line Nordic Tracks are really good, but anything below top of the line is not really built super well. And I have so many service issues, and the customer service is not super great. Like, I would really caution against going with a Nordic Track type treadmill if you're not going to be getting a top of the line. So Dave was an absolute stud at Treadmill Factory. So he was in there, we were chatting with him. And so he kind of walked us through a couple of different options. So we ended up getting a Bowflex treadmill, which I was like, Bowflex, like infomercial Bowflex, right? I know, we're thinking the same thing, like kind of crazy. But Bowflex has been acquired by a different company, and they've redone a lot of like the lines of treadmills, and he said that they're built very well. So looked at some reviews and stuff. So all that to say, we made the purchase, so hopefully we'll have the treadmill next week, and then we'll be able to do a lot more home gym workouts in the coming months, which is very exciting. So very fired up about that. Very, very fired up about that. So we'll get that hopefully in and set up next week by, I'm gonna say Thursday, Friday. So very excited about that. And sauna, we're likely gonna have that, they said, shipping between February 18th and 25th. So hopefully by beginning of March for sure we'll have the sauna, and then we're like really freaking rocking and rolling. So yeah, long time coming, been looking at that for a long time. So now we finally pulled the trigger, we got it done. But today's workout, given that we're not doing high rocks, I did get the confirmation on that this week because it wasn't until 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night, and I was like, yeah, no shot, I'm doing that. So today, the focus is going to be just a blaster of a leg workout. Like, it's gonna be, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm running the freaking gauntlet today. Squats, for sure. I kind of liked, the like high volume type workout that I did last time, but I'm thinking today I'm gonna go a little bit heavier, right? It's 1 o'clock, 1:30. So I've had a nice breakfast, pre-workout fuel, of course. So I'm thinking a little warm up, tib raises, calf raises, get the legs going a little bit. Warm up set of squats, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna try to do a 5x5 again. Let's see what kind of weight I can throw around. 185, maybe 205, 195. I'm gonna play around with it. I think I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna hit that for sure. No questions asked. Then I'm gonna see how I feel, but I think I'm gonna do squats. Then I'm gonna go hamstring curls, then leg press, deadlift, split squat. I think that's what I'm thinking. Run, sauna. We're doing that for sure. Maybe instead of split squats, maybe lunges. I don't know. I might do lunges. We'll see. Do a couple of lengths for the lunges, and then we'll hit it. We'll hit it. That's gonna be the plan. So big leg workout. Fired up for that, and then a run, and then sauna. Run's gonna be an easy run, maybe 8K today, and go from there. That's what I'm thinking. I like that. All right. See you in there. Oh, wait. Jesus, this guy's a tank. Holy smokes, that guy's a freaking tank. 3-inch shorts, Converse, no socks, -5 degrees outside. Animal. All right, see you in there. I just did my whole rant and it didn't record properly. But let's try to recap that again. I am freaking super hyped on that workout. That is definitely the most weight that I have moved and felt good doing ever. So 5 sets of squats, 5 reps each at 205, and then 2 sets of 275 on the deadlift, because the first set was only, I think, 3 reps. But I am freaking jazzed. Like, that was, for me, that is a big improvement considering what I started doing in November, right? And again, like, rest of, like, even training before, like, I don't think I've ever come anywhere near doing any of that. So super exciting. So definitely nice to see like a little bit of progress. And that gives me a little bit of confidence now too, to maybe up the weight and reduce either reps or sets, just to see what like the heavier weight feels like. But I know that I have it in me, which is really, really freaking exciting. Now, again, if you're looking at like a big picture, and it goes kind of back to the video that I made at the beginning of the year in terms of goals, like it's hard not to compare yourself to other people. And I fully recognize that that's not a lot of weight to move compared to like what you see other people doing in the gym or on social media or whatever it is. But I'm definitely going to take the win because I'm seeing the progress of, trying to intentionally build strength and get stronger and move heavier weight. And, on a weekly basis, slowly the weight is kind of moving up and the sets are feeling better. So that was super freaking exciting. And the lunges cooked me big time. That was tough. I ended up doing 2 sets of those, but those are going to be important for high rocks and even like the biking, just doing lots of reps with tired legs. And then I finished off with some hamstrings, squeezing sets on the hamstring. Those felt actually pretty good. I actually felt the pump in the hamstrings really good. But I filmed a little clip of the run, but it wasn't happening. I think I ended up maybe doing like a total of 15 minutes. Maybe 10 of those were actually running, and then the other 5 I was doing like an incline walk. My legs were just so freaking cooked. But yeah, that was awesome. So I'm super stoked with that. And that was the other thing that I want to say, talking about kind of comparison. The reason that I even ended up doing the deadlifts like that was because as I was doing the set of squats, there was a kid beside me, must have been like maybe 20, and he was just repping 275, like exploding up, and he was getting after it. And I was like, I wonder what that would feel like, like maybe I just give that a little go. And nowhere near was I close to what he was doing, but I pushed the envelope a little bit. I'm like, okay, for sure I can do 275. Like, no, I did that. So yeah, super excited about that. And tomorrow, gonna have to renew my gym membership there for another month, and that'll get me to kind of mid-end February. In which case, once that's done, then it'll be a full swap to the full Ironman training. But for the time being, keep working on building that strength. Hopefully, we get a little bit stronger by the time kind of mid-February comes around, and then it'll be full-on Ironman training. So super, super excited about that. That was super cool. Gonna go in there. Watch the Bills game, have some dinner, and then tomorrow it's Sunday, so we all know what that means. Workout, meal prep, get ready for the week. So, yeah, that was fun stuff. We're almost at I can't believe we're almost at the freaking end of January. It's freaking January 17th. So we're past 2 weeks. We're just going to keep going, right? Started the strength building in November. Definitely seeing some progress. Going to continue to work on that. But yeah, keep it going. And we'll see you later. Have a good one.